we just have to change our outfit. But that's because we understand that through repetition. If we were to repetitiously train the thought of, I don't need to change the world, just change myself, we would care much less about the world, just like we care much less about the mirror. We would realize that in order to get the vision or the view I want, I change me, right?
Yes.
Because it's the same principle, but one we're used to, the other one we're not.
100%.
Right? So it's just learning how to apply the same ability we already have to something that we're not used to applying it to, even though it does apply. Right? All right. Well, 7. We're gonna get going. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Mindset Saturday, where we're here remembering who we are, learning how to think, remembering who we are so we can live as we desire to. Welcome, welcome. Another Saturday. Good to see you all. Happy holidays. And whatever we celebrate or don't celebrate, it's just nice to have some time off, days off. Usually the world is a little nicer for these couple seconds, couple minutes generally. So, we'll take that and all that good stuff. So it's good to see you all. It's always an honor and a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you all, coming together to reason, to share our experiences, our knowledge, and all that good stuff, to remember who we are and act like it. That's the whole point. Remember who we are and act like it. All right. So, like I said, maybe a week ago, I'm doing a little bit of circling back, coming back to some things that maybe some of you have heard, maybe some of you haven't, but I know there are a lot of new people. So sometimes I just circle back to stuff I've said in the past, just so that people can hear it and kind of catch up a little bit, right? To some things, just some things. So if you've heard these things, keep your mouth closed. If you haven't, this is for you. All right. So let's start off. We'll start off with this one. Nice. If you've been here, keep your mouth closed. If you haven't, this is for you. Nice. What does this word mean? Denotatively. What does the word nice mean?
Pleasing, pleasurable.
Okay. That's one.
No, that's
familiar.
Say it again.
Familiar.
Familiar. Okay. One more. Nice, familiar, pleasing. Okay. One more.
Good.
Good.
That's from my sister, everybody. Sheila is driving, so she's part of us this morning.
Ah, welcome. Welcome. Glad to have you. Okay. Nice. Nice means, truly means foolish, ignorant, lacking knowledge, silly. We could go on, etc. That's what nice means. Connotatively, it became known as what we know it now, about 300 years after it was first created, so to speak. Denotatively, the complete note, the true definition of the word is silly, foolish, stupid, lacking knowledge. That's what the word nice actually means. It became what we know it as about 300 years later. Nice is broken down into two words, which is, the first in Latin is ne, which means not. And then sire or sire, which means knowledge, to know, right? That's where you get conscious from. That's where you get science from. That's where you get those words from. It means basically not to know. It means silly, foolish, ignorant. That's what that word nice actually means. Yes.
Marco Bailey is asking, niceness is an exterior thing, kindness an interior thing, and then she put easy to take advantage of.
That yes, it was for people who didn't know any better. That's what they called somebody when they call somebody nice. They're like almost like calling someone a simpleton, almost kind of in that neighborhood, but where you just don't respect their level of mental acuity. You realizing they're not sharp. Nice was like saying, oh, that person's nice, so that person's just. It was almost like God bless you. It was almost like something they said that during the plague. God bless you, because when they said that, it was for people who were coughing all the time, because that was one of the signs of you had it, and basically you were going to cough yourself to death. That's where they came up with. That's where Bayer in Germany came up with cough syrup. One of the first cough syrups was invented, had heroin in it. And it was basically to stop people from coughing, because people would cough to death. They couldn't go to sleep. They would literally cough themselves to death. Right. So I know I get off on tangents, but right. So, but that's where the word nice, that's what the word actually means. People don't use it connotatively. They use it now for something else, but denotatively, what the word actually means is silly, foolish, ignorant, lacking knowledge, to not know. That's what that word actually means. Okay. Next one. Just some nice little mental warm-ups. Girl. What does this word mean?
Scared.
Denotatively. The true definition of the word as it was originally formed.
Everyone's suspense.
Gavin, I thought you said, did you say something? If you did, I
so
didn't hear you.
Sparkle Bailey put in the chat, a young woman who hasn't reached puberty, and
Okay.
then Monique put pretty person.
Pretty person. Okay. One more.
Someone's daughter.
Someone's daughter. Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you were reading somebody else's thing. Okay. Girl. Girl originally, well, when I say originally, means this is what it originally meant. It doesn't mean that anymore. It just means people aren't using it like that anymore. But the definition of a word always remains. People can use it differently connotatively. They can take it and make it their own thing, but it never changes what the actual definition is, right? And if you ever do law and things like that, you'll understand that the word is what it is. People can use it 1,000 different ways, but it is what it is. Right. So it actually means a small child of either sex.
Oh.
The word originally girl meant, it still means, a small child of either sex. And they included children, they included animals, anything really that was young, a living thing that was young, but predominantly children and animals. A young version of that, male or female, was called, a lot of times was called a girl. That's what the original definition of girl was. A small child of either sex. All right, getting the brain warmed up. All right. Does anybody know where this term goodbye? Anybody know where that came from or what that actually is referring to?
Leaving.
Say it again.
Leaving.
Leaving?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, leaving. Okay. Who else?
As you know, it's funny because Monique put something that I was kind of thinking about myself. She said proper death. And I was thinking something along the lines like someone's about to die, and then Sparkle Bailey wrote well wishes.
Okay. So it's actually, okay, so people say good morning, good evening, whatever else it is. So a lot of times people will assume when you say goodbye that it meant the same thing. Like originally the word empathetic. The word empathetic is not the actual original word, it's empathic. People started using the word sympathetic. People say sympathy or sympathetic. So when people heard the word empathy, they automatically thought it was empathetic, but it's actually not. They've included it in the dictionary now, but the original word was empathy and empathic, sympathy and sympathetic. So my point is they put empathetic, assuming that was the natural progression of empathy, and it wasn't originally. So goodbye actually is not the same thing as good morning or good evening as a salutation or a greeting, right? It's not that. Actually, what it is a contraction. And it basically means, the word goodbye means, originally was kind of put into one word as God be with you, or back in the day, ye, right? Which is you. God be with you. God be with you. That's actually what goodbye means. The original term goodbye meant God be with you. And they would just say God be or goodbye, right? So that's actually what that meant. Because the by itself actually didn't have any meaning in that sense. They had to put something with good in order for people to understand what they were trying to say when they started changing the word, right? But originally that's what it meant, it's just God be with you. So they just shortened it to goodbye, and everybody said, oh, it's like God be with you. See you later, God be with you. But it was really God be with you. It wasn't goodbye the way we use it now.
Interesting.
Right. All right. Start with the last one. This one. Everybody's talking about it. So let's make sure we really understand. Let me not take for granted. We know what manifest. What does that word mean?
Predicting.
Edecto, say it again one more time.
Predicting.
Predicting. Okay.
Coach, Monique, the coach, she said a man to confess.
A man to confess. I don't know. I'm not sure I understand that one.
Like confess what he wants, like, to speak to the end.
Okay.
And then Sparkle Bailey wrote to claim or pronounce.
Okay. Okay.
That's three.
Come to be.
Come to be. Okay.
Marcus said inventing.
Okay. Well, what does the word invent mean?
To stumble upon.
To stumble upon. So then what does that mean?
Are we on manifesting or invent?
Well, it's kind of the same thing. So follow your pattern of thought.
Sparkle Bailey put this.
Turn left after 1/2 mile onto
Discover.
Keystone Street.
Okay. What does discover mean?
To become aware of.
To become aware. Well, no.
No.
You said it though, didn't it?
What'd you say?
Stumble upon?
No, that's invent.
Informant.
What does that mean?
Sorry, my first thought right now is informant. Damn.
Right. So inform, to discover means discover. It means to inform. It means to tell something you already know. It means to discover, to uncover something that you already know to be there, right? Invent means to stumble upon. It means your consciousness was not aware of something, but it still existed. So when you invent it, right, it means your level of consciousness becomes aware of something that already exists, right? Manifest, what basically manifest is, right, means to clearly reveal. It means to clearly reveal to the eye or to your understanding. The reason why I said all these things is because a lot of it is not as physical as it's made out to be. These are really this word manifest, discover, inform. They're really more levels of consciousness. They're really talking about more levels of consciousness that you can enact as you become aware, right? You can't tell something you don't know. You can't tell a secret you don't know. That's why when you're an informant, you have to have information. You have to have inside information, right? When you are a discoverer, what that basically meant was you were, like when they call Christopher Columbus a discoverer, what they really meant by that word is that when he went back to the king and queen of Spain, he knew what he was looking for. He just didn't have the money for the trip, but he knew what he was looking for. He just didn't have the money for the trip, so he had to go back to them for the financing. If he just said, I want to go out here and wander around, they wouldn't have gave him any money. If you went to your parents and said, hey, can I use the car? And they're like, where do you want to go? I just want to just roll around the neighborhood, yeah, they're not wasting my gas, my good tires. All of a sudden, everything gets good. My good gas, my good tires, my good car, everything gets good all of a sudden.
Sparkle Belly said, absolutely.
Absolutely not, right? So it's the same thing. He had to show them that he knew what he was looking for and why he was looking for it and why it was going to be invaluable. So discover did not mean wander. It didn't mean like, oh, I just came upon something. No, discover means to uncover something that you already know exists. Invent means to uncover something you didn't know existed. Manifest means to reveal clearly to the eye or to your understanding. It means essentially to awaken your consciousness to something, right? To bring open for view or comprehension, right? It comes from the word manifestare, right? And that basically means to discover, disclose, or betray. Basically means to tell something that you know or uncover something and tell, but it means it's basically just talking about your level of consciousness that you have to do or that you gain to be able to do.
Did you just say betray?
Betray.
So does that mean betray does not mean what we're thinking it means?
None of the words that I would say most of the words that we think we know what they mean, we don't know what they mean. We just all agree with what they mean now.
English can be annoying.
Well, no, we're not speaking English, meaning we're not using their actual words. We're using connotations of every word. It'd be like if every one of us on here had a nickname. And somebody came along 25 years later and all they heard was us saying our nicknames, they would never know what my name is or your name is or Gavin's or Leslie's or Marcus. They would think your name is Sugar Pop Lemon Cycle, right? They would think, they think whatever we call ourselves, right? Because they're not there from the beginning, right? So none of us generally in English know what English words mean because we're not using the denotative, the original definitions of the word. We're using connotations for everything now. We're using nickname for everything.
It just seems like English has that more than like Spanish.
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely true. Well, it's because English is the newer language in this country.
Yeah.
Right. It's a newer language in this country because this country is a very new country in relative terms, right, to the world. Right. It's a newer country. So we've basically taken all of the words from Latin and German and Old English and Spanish and French and all the different words. And now we've taken them all up and now we've come up with our own definitions. So, and calling it English, but this is like new English. This is not even Middle English or Old English. This is the newest form of everything, right? Like new music and new this and new technology. Everything is new, right?
Marcus said double side-eye. He knows every minority person got a nickname.
Hey, man, that's it. Okay. All right. So these are just some good ones to kind of get our mind warmed up and to always just a gentle reminder, right? To, people say now stay woke, but stay awake to actually think about what you're thinking about, to actually be mindful of what you're accepting as absolute truth or as absolute fact, to really just be a little bit more mindful and say, you know what, I'm using this word. Let me actually look it up. Let me just see what the word means, right? Let me make sure I'm actually using the word as it's originally defined, not necessarily. I can always use it as everyone agrees, as long as they know what I mean. That's all that matters, essentially. But if you talk to the wrong person, or if you go to court, they don't care about your nickname. They don't care about the way we use words in the neighborhood. They only care about the legality of words, and words literally mean something. Right. And it's important to know what they mean. And then we can go off and, I'm glad to know everyone's name. I'll take the nickname afterward, but I'm glad to know your name first. Right. Same thing. We want to make sure we really understand what we're using. So these are just things to kind of really jar our mind and say, wow, I never really thought about that. Or I didn't know that. Right. Things like that. Important. All right. Which one of these do I want to start with? Today, we're talking about the difference between, I titled it the cup of coffee, right? That's what I titled. Now, but really, this is really what I'm talking about is the difference between settling and satisfaction. So let me kind of start from the beginning. Now, I know everybody doesn't drink coffee here. Just imagine it's your favorite beverage. Doesn't matter what it is. The principle is the same. But I'm just using coffee because it's easy. If you bought your coffee, if you bought some coffee and you were going to make it at home, and you're making this coffee at home now. So you bought the coffee and now you wake up in the morning, you're making your cup of coffee. When you pour that cup of coffee now that you bought and you made, how much do you pour? Okay. How much do you pour?
3/4 of a cup, and then I add cream and sugar.
Okay. So all 3/4. Who else? How much do you pour?
Almost to the top. I leave a little room for milk.
Okay. Almost the top. All right. So we have three. So we have one beverage, or we have one thing we're talking about, coffee. And with one thing we're talking about, just from volunteers, we got 3 different answers. One thing, and we got 3 different answers. Just on volume by itself. Now, who said all?
Me,
Okay, do you put something in your coffee?
I do.
What?
I put oat milk.
Okay. 3/4, who said that?
That's
That was me.
What do you put in there? Or do you?
Yeah, no, I add cream and sugar.
You add cream and sugar. Okay, almost to the top.
I think that was Monique.
A drop of oat creamer.
That's your nickname, almost to the top.
I add my cream and sugar first.
Okay, so you're doing too much now. Okay, we got to keep this simple here. All right. Okay, so you add a drop, and then at the beginning, and look, you didn't mess my whole situation. See? Right? Okay, so my point is, right? You pour whatever you want and what you want in it. So now, when you pour that cup of coffee and you pour it, and then you put what you want in it, which one of those are you doing?
Out of settling and satisfaction?
Yes,
Satisfaction.
I was gonna say, it's a
Okay.
full-blown satisfaction.
it's a satisfaction. Okay. So, and when you woke up this morning, you made coffee because it was your what?
Habit,
It was your habit. How did it become a habit?
repetition, doing it every day.
Why did you do it every day?
Desire.
Will somebody say it again?
Because it was satisfying.
Okay. What was, I heard another word,
Someone said desire.
desire. Desire is the beginning, satisfaction is the end. You're looking at the beginning and end. Right? You first did it because you desired it. It wasn't satisfying at the beginning. You didn't know what it tasted like. Right? You decided, I'm gonna give it a shot. Right? Then once you gave it a shot, to the next person's point, we repeatedly gave it a shot. What is repeatedly? What is another word for repeatedly? What is a word that we use repeatedly when people talk about manifesting?
Consistency?
Consistency.
What's another word? That's a good one. Repeatedly, consistently. What's another word? Repeat, consistent. What's another word?
Habitually.
Habit.
Automatic.
It becomes so. Okay. And persist. Persistence. Right? So, any desire you have is only there to be what?
Satisfied.
Satisfied.
Hello. Yeah.
Well, how do you get from desire to satisfaction?
Sip on your cup. Sparkle Bailey put motivation to be consistent.
Okay, I'm gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna come back to that. Motivation to be consistent. All right. So any desire is there to be satisfied. How do you do that?
By doing an act, an action.
Okay.
Yeah, you
By
act on,
doing, okay. Say it again.
you act on your desire.
Okay. Why are we changing it? We already said it.
What did we say?
You tell me.
We were consistent.
You were all these things in the middle. Repeatedly, consistent, habitual, automatic, persistent. That is how you go from your desire to satisfaction.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's how you go from there to there.
It seems so simple for the coffee. Why is it so hard for my yacht?
Right. Because like we talked about earlier, when we put something on and we look in the mirror, we may not like what we see, but we don't blame the mirror. But we don't blame the mirror because we understand through time and repetition that blaming the mirror is not going to change my outfit. That if I want to change what I see, I have to leave the mirror alone and change me. Right? That's not a good or bad thing. It's just an understanding that we have. However, we don't understand that the world is the same thing, or the world that we're looking at. We try to change the world, but we would never try to change the mirror. But because we don't realize that our world is a reflection of our life. Just like the mirror, the mirror reflects our outfit, what we're wearing. We put that on. So we can't blame the mirror, and changing the mirror, getting a new one, a bigger one or a smaller one, we understand is not going to change anything. So if we want to have a different outcome or a different vision, different view, then we're going to have to change what we're wearing if we don't like what we see. If we look at our world, whether it's our health or our bank account or our whatever else it is, if we don't like what we see, the bank account is nothing but a mirror. It's just showing you what you have clothed yourself in the relationship of money. Your health is nothing but a mirror. It's showing what you have put on, what your belief is about this thing, what your self-concept is in relation to this thing. Just like when you put an outfit on, it's telling you what you're thinking about yourself, or what you're thinking about, what you wear, why you wear it, where you're going, right? So when we're super young, right, most of us come home from church back in the day, and first thing your parents tell you, don't go outside with them church clothes on. But if they don't catch you, you'll be out there going hard in the paint with some penny loafers on. Just out there diving and sliding and everything, like it's no tomorrow, right? Like you just got home from school or something. They know if they don't catch you, you're going to be out there in whatever is available, right? So they make you change your clothes. They want you to put on something different, to do something different in, right? The reason why this got tricky, look at how our answers changed. When I said, well, what does it take to get from here to here? We started talking about all kinds of inventing new things when we already said the answer. We already said the answer. The answer is repeatedly, consistently, habitually, automatically, persistently. Those could be whether you want to call them affirmations in your mind to keep them going, or whether it's just I'm staying on this thought or on this belief until it happens. I'm going to repeatedly think this thought. I'm going to consistently, habitually, automatically, persistently keep this thought. When you pour that coffee, don't you persistently drink it? Don't you stick with it until the end? Nobody calls that affirmations. Nobody calls that positive thinking. Nobody even calls it motivation. When you pour that coffee, who's motivated to be consistent enough to drink it all? Does anybody need motivation?
Oh,
No.
no. It's
Anybody
just
need, right? If anything, you're inspired. That means internal motivation. Motivation means external. Inspiration means internal. Inspired, to breathe life from within. That's what that word means. That's why motivation doesn't last long. I tell everybody it's like getting a jump from AAA. Yeah, it'll start your battery, but if you got to come jump you every day, you have a problem with your battery.
Right.
It's not clicking from the inside, right? It's good to have motivation. Sometimes that starts your inspiration. Sometimes someone says to you, right, in a moment, and a time, or over a thing, inspires you. It clicks something from the outside. It clicks something from the inside. Now you're inspired. Now you're up on your own. Right? Now you're up on your own. I was actually talking to my brother this week, and we were talking about something, and I said, well, if you wanted to be something, my brother was a quarterback. So I use examples to people. If I'm talking to someone and I have an idea of who they are, I use examples that are pertinent to them so they can understand it, what I'm trying to get across. So my brother was a quarterback, high school, college, and things like that. So he said something. I said, well, if you wanted to be Tom Brady, if you wanted to be the best quarterback in the world, and you decided to start practicing, how many repetitions is too many? How many is too many? How many of you like, you know what, that's it, I'm enough, I'm done? How many is too many?
No such thing.
There's no such thing. Well, then why does it become such a thing when we're going from our desire to satisfaction? Why do we quit? How many reps did we pass the limit? Do we say, you know what, I've been saying this, I've been assuming that I'm this for a while now, and this is getting old, and this is getting dead and stinking. This is old and tired. We don't say that. How many is too many for you to repeatedly, consistently, habitually, to the point where it becomes automatic and you persist, where you have a level of brazen impudence, which basically means you don't take no for an answer? Yes, go ahead.
Just, I like what Monique said. She said, or it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
And Sparkle Bailey's laughing at the not dead and stanky.
Right, right? Because what do we say? If consistency is the cheat code, consistency requires what?
Persistence.
And what else?
Determination.
And okay, and what else? To do what? To do what?
You need what you desire.
Okay, yeah, but
To
you have to be
remain
determined.
satisfied.
You have to be determined to repeat it. You have determined to keep. You have to be determined to keep going. Right. So my point to you is then we say, okay, if it's not working, okay, well, how do we determine when that is? I said this, like, how do we know if we're waiting too long? How do we know if we've waited too long? How do we know? I didn't say how do we think, and I didn't say how do we assume. That's why I always do those warm-ups, because people think, oh, you're so nice, you probably should be swinging on somebody, right? Or oh, this, or oh, that, or whatever, right? Most people don't know. They know what they're saying, but they know what they're they know what they're they don't know what they're saying or what they're talking about, really. But since nobody does, everybody agrees that they do. Right. But my point is there's a lot of words that we think we know, we assume we know, and we're proven every day, every Saturday that we don't know. So my point is then, how much do you really think you know in order to say this is too much? How do you know when you've gone too far? Haven't we talked about enough words and had enough Saturdays to realize you probably don't know everything you think you know? And just because you believe it, you really believe it, or you have believed it for a long time, doesn't make it the truth. It just makes it true, meaning true for you. You believe it, and according to your truth, be it unto you. Okay, that's what you like to do, but it's hard to get a good outcome with the wrong information. You pull over and ask somebody for directions, and they tell you go north, and your desired outcome is south. You being a good person is not going to. It's not gonna, you being the head of the HOA and you being a AAA member is not really gonna help. The information is all you have to go on. Right? What type of person you are has nothing to do with what direction you go. Your information does, whether it's your own or whether you acquired it from someone else. Right? And so what I'm saying here is that you poured that cup of coffee to satisfaction, not to settling. You poured it to your level. You put in what you wanted. And the reason you did it is because you had a desire. And the reason you still have it is because you've repeated it consistently, habitually, automatically, persistently. You stuck with this thing that you wanted the satisfaction of. And the only reason you got satisfaction is because you first desired it and you stuck with your desire and until you became satisfied. How many repetitions is too many? Oh, I mean, for all of you who drink coffee, haven't you been drinking it long enough to know what it tastes like? What you got to keep going for then?
So good.
What you got to keep? Why are you already know what it tastes like? What do you got to keep going for? What are we doing this for? We already took a bath. What are we doing it for today, tomorrow? We already drank water. What are we doing it again for? Why do we repeat certain things and not others? And if consistency is the cheat code, that means we're talking repetition. So then how many reps is too many for you to be what you want to be? How many days is too many to assume it? How many days is too many to affirm it, meaning to remain in agreement with it, to remain loyal and faithful and committed? How many days is too many to be loyal and faithful to your spouse? You'd be like, you know what? I've been doing this for 10 years now. I'm about over it. Anybody want to do that one? Anybody
Till you die?
Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Right? No, right? You're saying as long as I want the outcome of this thing, I am going to repeat it. If I want the outcome of my initial desire and I want to remain satisfied, I am going to repeatedly, consistently, habitually, persistently, to the point where it becomes automatic, remain faithful, loyal, committed to whatever my desire is. If that's a person, if that is your health, if that is your money, if that is your success, if that is your business, if that's your relationships with your significant other, with your kids, with your whatever. The process is the same. Desire is created to be satisfied. And the only way you're going to make that journey is by repeatedly, consistently, habitually, persistently, to the point where it becomes automatic. This is just what I do. This is just what it is. This ain't personal. This ain't emotional. This is the process. This is what it is. I'm going to hold this thought in my mind of whatever it is I want to do or be or have. How many days is too many? How many repetitions is too many for you to be what you want to be? Nobody said, I had coffee for 3 years now. I think that's enough. In the sense of if you keep the desire. If your desire is to no longer have it, that's different. I'm saying that as long as your desire remains desirable, and as long as you intend to be satisfied by your desire, then whatever it takes to get to that road is the same thing it's going to take to remain on that road, right? As soon as you get off the road, you've lost the connection, right? Soon as your cell phone tower drops your signal, guess what? That's all you hear, just that. That's it, right? This is the signal between your desire and your satisfaction is you in the middle using the phone. How many is too many, right? How long is too long? How much is too much? If you're clear on your desire and its satisfaction, this is what I want. And if I got what I want, this is what I'm doing it for. This is the whole reason that the desire is even desirable, is the satisfaction of it, whatever I'm going to get from it. It is nice, but if I'm not going to get anything from it, what does that matter? So if you're like, oh, wow, that's sure a nice car you got, what does that do for you? Well, you can have, wow, great, but after a while, there's only so much it's going to do for you, looking at it and hemming and hawing over somebody else's stuff, right? So your desire is intended to be satisfied by you, for you. And how do you do that? By repeatedly, consistently, habitually remaining faithful, loyal, and committed to whatever it is your desire is. It's your desire. What do you need motivation to do that for? What do you need? What do you need that for? It's your car. What do you need AAA for? Oh, because it's not working. It's your desire. What do you need motivation for? Because it's not working. Maybe it's not what you desire. Maybe it's what you think you should. Maybe it's what you feel guilty that you should. Maybe you don't want to be seen like you don't. But it still looks like it. I mean, there's a whole bunch of AAA different type of trucks, but it still says AAA on the side. You got a bunch of reasons why you ain't, but it still looks like you're not. We're talking about satisfaction here. We're settling too much for things. First thing we say is, I'll say it this way. So let's see. So who's the one that said, oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get to who am I gonna mess with today? Who's the 3/4? Who's 3/4?
That was me, Coach Wesley.
That was you? Oh yeah, well that's good. That's good. Perfect. Okay. Right? So let's just say you bought your coffee, you made your coffee. Now you're getting ready to drink your coffee, right? Mm-hmm. Before you drink your coffee, who do you pay?
The clerk at the store.
No, you already at home now.
Oh, I'm at home.
You bought the coffee, you were at home this morning, and you made the coffee that you bought yesterday. Now you made it. You poured your cup of coffee to satisfaction. Now, you poured your desire repeatedly enough until it got 3/4. Then you put your cream and sugar in. And before you drink it, AKA satisfaction, who do you have to pay?
No one.
That's your final answer? You on the witness stand. You have just been arrested. Everything you say can and will be used against you. And guess what? Against you all. All of you are on the witness stand and in some handcuffs right now. So you be very mindful about what you're saying. Right? Right before you did everything preparing. Mm-hmm. Now you're ready. You have not sipped it yet, but it's ready. Who do you pay?
I'm just going to be nice in this moment.
There you go. Hey, that's it. Okay. Who else? Because I'm going to start calling on some people. Who else? Who do you pay before you drink that coffee?
Sparkle Bailey put yourself.
You pay yourself. So you take money out your purse, you go in the room, take money out your purse and put it on the counter, and then come back and then like do a U-turn and come back and be like, thank you.
Are you talking about paying with actual money or paying with time?
Well, here's the thing. Either one, if you paid somebody for something, aren't they better off for it? Generally, like that's a form of compensation, right?
Yeah.
So if you took that compensation from yourself and then gave it back to yourself, did you get paid?
No, you've not enhanced yourself at all at that point.
Well, Sparkleberry put in the chat, I meant satisfaction wise, pay yourself.
Yes. And so my point to you is, though, my point in saying all that to say is, this is a hard question to answer. It seems silly and ridiculous, but that's my point. My point is, what did we talk about last week? I said, oh, guess who I'm going to call on today? Yeah, guess who I'm going to call on today? There you go. Cassidy. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? The bangs gave you away. The little tease in the front. That's it. That's it. The little Rico Suave in the front gave you away. Gave you away. So what? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not one of these teachers. You can't just show up. The public school teachers or any of these teachers just show up to class and just sit there and wait for the bell to ring. Oh, no, no, no. You came up in here, you're gonna get all this today. So see, you almost made me forget my question now. So you distracted me. Okay, wait, what was I gonna say? Oh, okay. I said last week, if you remember, I said, what did I say about who you are versus who you think you are?
I'm gonna keep it a buck, coach. I do not remember.
Girl, are you taking notes?
I do, but I don't remember that.
Okay. Let's see here. Who else can I? Yeah, let's call on your brother. Yeah, I felt your psychic waves. That way he can't hate on you. He can't.
It was inevitable.
Gavin, what did I say last week?
What did you say last week?
Yes, or maybe in the last couple of weeks. When I said who you are versus who you think you are.
That twin connection ain't really working right now.
That's what?
I call on Sparkle Bailey.
Connection ain't working.
It's not working.
I call on Sparkle Bailey. Sparkle Bailey, you take the mic.
Man, see, look, well, Cassidy, you're welcome. That way he can't harass you today. He with you. Let's see here. Who else can I? Oh, yeah, because I'm not. Oh, yeah, everybody's catching it today. Yeah, catching it today. Let's see who else is on here. Ronette?
Was I here last week or was that the week before?
What? Boy, that's when you know. See that? That's when you know. Stuff starts getting strange around here.
I was trying to think. Wait. Let me think. Are you talking about the I am? Or is that?
Yes. When I said, who are you versus who you think you are? Oh, I'm about to get my marker out.
Oh no.
Yeah, the big famous, one of my favorite letters is coming out.
Is that the rubbing of the ass?
Mom, I know that voice. Do not. And guess what? I'm gonna put it in a nice circle and everything for everybody. All right. Remember when I said last week, right? I said, you are not, Kari. You are I am believing yourself to be Kari. You're not Leslie. You are I am believing yourself to be Leslie. So when that consciousness said, let there be light, who did light pay? Who did God pay? Who did I am pay? Who's paying the light bill?
There is no one to pay.
There is no one to pay. So there is no one to pay. So before you drink this coffee, you've already paid. You paid by your persistence, by your consistence, by your habitual, repeated consciousness of being satisfied. That's the only reason or the only way you got to become satisfied. Right? What I'm saying to you is that there is no one to pay for your desire. Because you have a desire, but you are the desirer.
So in the chat, by the way, Sparkle Bailey's not speaking because she lost her voice.
Yeah, it's a good, convenient time.
So I
It's real convenient.
that mom introduced me to. She said, playing a role. I am who I am. Who I am. Sparkle Bailey is who I think I am. Then Renette put, someone posted about fear. I was afraid to say that. Kari said, I'm hungry and I'm about to manifest fulfillment within by cooking these eggs.
That's it, right? Desire, eggs, fulfillment, satisfaction, cooking, the middle.
Yeah, that was a joke, but not a joke.
Yeah, right?
That's what you said with the coffee.
Yeah,
Same.
and it's the same, right? It's the same. Real, imagine, joke, no joke. It's the way we do everything, right? But my point is that when you're the owner of something you made, who do you have to pay in order to experience what you made? Who are you paying? If you are who you know yourself to really be, if you are I am, if you are consciousness, the maker of all things, then who do you think you have to pay in order to have the desire and have that satisfactorily fulfilled?
So it sounds like you're saying you're just circulating your own economy.
It's certain, your economy, yes, you're right. Your economy is conscious. It's consciousness. What we call the economy physically is a reflection of that. But the economy that, yes, to your point, your economy is a consciousness. That's why everybody's not broke. That's why everybody's not rich. At any moment of time and point and given time, everybody's different because their awareness, what they're conscious of being is different. Look at, we talked about economy. Economy is the same thing as coffee. Everybody has their own idea of it. I said coffee, and look how many, I just put 3 people. We got oat milk, cream and sugar, almost to the top, halfway to the top, 3/4 to the top, all the way to the top. We have 1,000 different consciousnesses. We have 1,000 different ways of perceiving coffee or the way we're going to be satisfied by it. The 3/4 and the all is nothing but a physical expression of our consciousness. Coffee is the economy. It's the same thing. Economy, like coffee, is a consciousness. We have an idea, a thought about it. What we feel it is or isn't, how it is or isn't, whether it's hard or easy, a lot, all, top, whatever else it is. And then it becomes physically reflected in all and oat milk. 3/4 cream and sugar, almost top. Cream and sugar first.
Kari said, damn it, I'm walking the Pete's. Thanks.
Right.
So I pay, Ronette said, so I pay, I am, or take away from I am. I am is the payer and the receiver. I am is the customer and the owner. I am plays all the roles. Consciousness is where the desire came from. Consciousness is the one that wants to be satisfied. And it's using you, what you think you are, to do it. Leslie, Kari, Gavin, Latoya, Monique, Marcus, Mona, that is the middle man in that sense. Because in this physical 3D world, we need a body.
And this body just has a name, but this body is not us, right? I have a desire to go to Disneyland. The car is the middleman. The train is the middleman. The plane is the middleman. It's the thing I'm using as the conduit to get from my desire to my satisfaction. It's not me. It's just the thing I'm using to get what the me I want. Right? There is no one to pay. You are the desire and what you desire.
Renette put accounts receivable, accounts payable.
Exactly. Exactly. You're the owner and the customer. You're the whole cycle. That's why it says in the book, if I were hungry, I wouldn't ask any man anything. I would slay and eat. The earth is the Lord's, I am. The earth is I am's, and the fullness thereof. Everything in it and everyone on it is this. There's no one to pay. There's no one to pay. That's why when I said before you get this, who are you going to pay? Yeah, it's nonsensical, but we don't realize it because we put so many people and things in it. We've settled. And how do we settle? First thing we do is we start conditioning things. I want this, but I'd like this. Well, this would really be great, but we start the but, the well, did you do your homework? Well, let me tell you. Well, what had happened was we do the same thing. We're doing the same thing with our desire. And our desire doesn't want to hear all that, doesn't need to hear all that. It's only being created to be satisfied. If it couldn't be satisfied, it wouldn't come up in the first place. And if you couldn't satisfy it, it wouldn't come up with you in the first place. It doesn't mean that you magically appear at Disneyland. No, you may use a plane. You may use a car. But those things don't make you what you are. Those things you have and you use because of who you are. You made that. You made the plane. You made Disneyland. You have a desire. You are the desire. The whole cycle is you. Settling is insane. That's a human thing. That's not a God thing. God said, let there be light. But I'll take a little dusk. If I can just get a little bit of dawn, I can get something cracking. No, I went to light. Let there be whatever it is. You're the whole cycle. You have a desire. Coffee. Coffee is a metaphor for anything you want. How you got that coffee is the same way you get anything. It's the same way. Go ahead.
The belief that you can have the coffee that you want is kind of just present in the world. Mm-hmm. But the belief for bigger things is harder for me. It's harder for me to stick with, to keep present in my mind and be consistent with that belief. Which
why
means
why is that? You used a word. Did anybody catch the word she used? You used a word. The reason that you're saying what you're saying is because of one word you used. What word was that? Anyone? Well, Leslie, you can guess first. You can go first. One word.
Present?
Nope.
Consistent?
Nope. Nope.
Was it difficult or hard or something?
No, it's not kind of. It wasn't those words, but it was close to difficult. There was a word you used.
Sparkle Billy put only?
Nope.
Hard.
Nope. Bigger. 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 You are equating your power to the size of something. But that's Leslie doing that. That's your mistake. Because you're thinking you're Leslie, so you're thinking something is big or small. But when you are I am, how could anything be bigger than you, where everything that you would call big, you made?
Good.
You've dropped your consciousness. Now, there was a story in that book, in the wisdom book, where the king, I think I've told you guys the story before. The king said, hey, if go over here, take this land. Just go over here and look at it. I'm going to give it to you. There's people on it, but I'll get them off. I'll give it to you if you want it. Just go over there and take a look at it. So the people he told went over there and took a look at it. They crawled up on the hill and they looked over there at the land. They were like, wow, this is nice. He really gonna give it to us? The king said, yeah. So, wow, this is nice. So then they were like, wow, there's some big people over there, some giants over there. Wow. But he said he's gonna give it to us. Cool. So he goes back, the couple of them go back to the king and they say, and he says, hey, do you want the land? They're like, yeah, but there were giants over there and we were but mere grasshoppers in their sight. Whose definition was that?
Yeah, the people. It was the seer was the define themselves.
It was a self-defining prophecy, self-fulfilling prophecy. We define ourselves. And so when we see something, we define ourselves. We think it's based on it, but it's really based on us. So when you said bigger, what you're essentially saying is that you are little old Leslie with your little light of mine and I'm gonna let it shine, right? Instead of realizing that's why I said last week and the weeks before, no, you're not Leslie. You are I am in Leslie, believing itself to be Leslie. How could anything be bigger than you and you made it all? That's like your daughter coming back to you telling you she's the boss. You'd be like, are you out of your natural mind? You'd be like, you know what? She's really broke down this time. Call somebody.
Like step outside because out here you are the boss.
Right. Right. It's a thing where, right? It's a thing where, no, if you made everything that you could ever want, you made everything that you've ever seen as far as consciousness, which is what you are, which is what we all are, just different aspects of it, meaning we're one consciousness believing ourselves to be something different. We talked about one thing and how many different recipes did we have? We're one consciousness with a bunch of different recipes. Let's just say it like that. So then how could the coffee be too big for you? How did the coffee be? How are we now? Only humans determine size. Humans determine size, days, time. Humanity does that because that's rational in our mind. We cut it up. It's overwhelming to be able to say everything is happening at the same time. We can't even understand what that means. Right? But to I am, who always is and always will be, it's all the same thing. I've always been here, I'm always going to be here. So there's nothing in front of me, there's nothing behind me. It's all the same, right? So then we wouldn't say late or early. We wouldn't say this or that, right? Big or small. Not when we know who we really are. The reason why things become bigger than us in our belief is because we are thinking from something that we perceive to be smaller, our humanity. It's like looking up at the sun. It's like, wow, that's big. Wow, that's far. Wow, that's bright. Cool, okay. From that vantage point or view, it is. But when we realize who we are, I made that thing, then it's like, all right, that's cool. When I walk into people's homes in the holidays, I'm like, wow, you cooked that? That's like looking at the sun. I couldn't cook it, right? But to the person who cooked it, they're like, oh, this whole thing, right? This whole outfit, this little thing I put together, right? To them, it's small. It's depending on who you believe in yourself to be when you're talking. That is where the mistake lies, or that is where the victory or success lies. It is in not the nature of the desire, it's in the nature of the of the person of that consciousness looking at that desire. Can I do that? Well, as a human, most people say no. Most people don't. But they don't go without it because it's impossible. If it were impossible, you'd never have the desire. But in our humanity and our limitations, we can't be in Florida and New York in 2 minutes. We can't be this and that physically in 2 minutes. But in our consciousness, we can be here, we can be there, we're everywhere. We're omnipresent. We're omniscient, all-knowing, omnipresent, all-present, omnipotent, all-powerful. That is who we are.
Papa, you gotta give yourself some credit. You boiled eggs.
That's it. Boil them hard, too. Boil them strong. Right? But that's the point. Do we understand that? That's where we're making our mistake, is we're lowering our consciousness, believing that we are the body we're in and the name we've given it, and realizing no, that's not who we are. That's just where we are right now. That's what we're doing. That's what we're in. That's not who we are. Yes.
Monique?
Yes.
So something came up for me when in the wisdom book when they say I can do all things through Christ.
Yes.
It's just a matter of shifting perspectives because I am Christ essentially.
Yes.
Based on what you're teaching. So I can do all things not as Monique, who I'm believing myself to be, but when I shift my perspective to I am, of course I can do all things.
Correct.
Got it.
So, and in that book, Christ is defined as what? Do you
God.
know what Christ is defined as?
I'm God. I'm going out shooting.
Okay. Anyone else? What is Christ defined as in the book? What is the definition?
Consciousness.
Okay. Consciousness in flesh. But what is Christ defined as?
Well, Sparkle Bailey put God in.
Yeah. But what is Christ defined as? Actual abilities. What is Christ defined as?
The light.
Perfect.
I'm sorry.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay.
And it's a designation of a level of consciousness, isn't it?
Yes. But as a result of that designation at that level, when you get a level in a job or a title in a job, what comes with that?
Responsibility.
And
Power.
power. Christ in the book is defined as the power
I was about to say.
and the wisdom of God.
So
Christ in that book is defined as the power and the wisdom of God, of I am, of consciousness. Your consciousness possesses a power and a wisdom to fulfill every desire that you have. That's why it says in that book, Christ where? Christ in you. In you. In you lies the power and the wisdom. The power, that means the ability to get your desire, and the wisdom, the know-how. The ability and the know-how rest in you to fulfill this desire to satisfaction. All you have to do is repeatedly, consistently, habitually, persistently, automatically understand that by keeping yourself in the state of whatever it is you want to be or have. I am this. I have that. I do this. This is what it is. Let there be. That is what manifesting is. What people call, that's actually what it is. It's saying, okay, I am now, what is it? I'm making my I aware. I'm making my understanding aware. I'm now conditioning my eye to see consciously and my understanding consciously to now perceive myself to be this. That's how all things come in existence. Within you is the power, is the ability, and the know-how. So when you say, I don't know how, you're lying. Or you're believing yourself to be something you're not. You are not Leslie. You are not Kari. You are not Marcus. You are not your nickname. I'll just say it like that. We'll use your name as a nickname. You are, I am is your name. Consciousness is who you are. I am is your name. Kari is a nickname. Leslie is a nickname. Those are just nicknames. Period. You are, I am. You are consciousness. The highest level of it. That's why you're made in the likeness and image of God. The likeness and image of the highest level of consciousness, the highest authority of consciousness. You're made in the likeness and image of that, right? You have everything in you right now as this nickname to do anything that it did or it does.
Monique said, assume the position and stay there.
That's it. When you go to the store and you take something off of the shelf, that is, and you take it off the shelf, that is what? What do we call that?
Choosing.
Choosing. When you took it off the shelf, looked at it, and then you said, I'm going to do this, what is that called?
Intention.
Okay, another word. Yes. Okay, another word for that. Deciding, yes. When you now have decided and you are going from standing there after you've chosen and decided, yeah, this is it, walking from there to the cash register is called what?
Manifestation
It's called what?
or manifestation?
No, not yet.
Action.
Okay, kind of. Another word.
Action.
Okay, another word.
Would that be persistence?
Yes, essentially. Persistence, right? You stayed committed. You were consistent. Didn't your feet repeatedly keep going to the cash register? Didn't you stay consistent with your choice and your decision? Did you change your mind? Was too many steps too many? Right? You persisted. You stayed with your decision. Then once you paid for it and it was now yours, that is what we call what?
That's the manifestation.
That's the manifestation. So manifesting is actually a what?
Choice.
It's a series of
Choices.
choices and a series of,
Sparkle Belly said result, ownership.
well, it's a process from a series of choices, decisions, persistence, consistency, habit, repetition, to the point that it becomes automatic, you get good at it, but it's a series of something until it manifests, meaning until you take ownership. You stick with that whole process until you own it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Did anybody say motivation? Did anybody say positive thinking? Did anybody get any moon beads and rub their wrist on the way to the register?
Feel personally attacked.
Why?
The beats.
Oh, yeah. Right. Does that make sense to you guys? I'm saying you can do it. You can grab the stuff and walk all around the store. You can put moon beads on at your wrist if you want. You can do anything you want as long as you understand the process of really what it is or what it isn't. Does that make sense to you? You can walk around, you know you bought some. As soon as you walk in the store, you're like, oh, I didn't know these chips were here. I was looking for them last week. You grab them and put them in your cart before you even get to the first aisle. That doesn't mean you have to leave, right? So you can get what you want to walk all around. You can put moon beads on your wrist. You can burn candles all throughout the house like you're a monk in Tibet. You can do whatever you want as long as you understand that the process is still the same. You choose, you decide, you persist in your chosen decision until it becomes yours, until you physically own it. That's it. We can emotionalize it. We don't have to. We can affirm it. Well, you're already affirming it. You don't even have to say it, but you're already affirming it because of your actions, which you're knowing yourself to be. You're walking to the cash register and you keep going until you get there. You're taking money out of your purse. You don't have to tell anybody anything. People can see by what you're doing. Your actions are reflections of your faith. They don't replace your faith. The only reason you're taking these actions is because of your faith, of your choice, of your decision. They're not replacing your choice or your decision. You can't do action, take radical action, massive action. You got to act. You can't sit around and do nothing. You can't do anything without a thought. Not one single solitary thing you can't. But you can think without doing. I'm going to get some ice cream. Nah, I changed my mind. Well, I'm going to go get it later, man. I never got there. You can think without doing, but you can't do without thinking. So everybody walking around talking about how much they've done all week and how much they're going to do and how much they got to get done and how much, if you thought better, you'd do better. If you thought more clearly, your actions would be more clear. They'd be more potent and effective. They'd be more efficient. But your works do not justify your faith. They only reflect it. They don't justify your consciousness. They only reflect it. No matter how hard you go in the paint, if you're not thinking right, it's not going to work right, because the outcome is a reflection of your thought. All right. I'm gonna move on from that. Anybody have anything they want to say?
The one thing that kept popping up in my mind when you started on this line is the teaching, that was in my family is you've got to give to get. And thinking about, just under the idea that I am, which means I don't have to put anything in to take something out. It's not a give and take. It's not a transmission that I have to, I have to give something. I have to give something of myself, or I have to put something in line with paying yourself, paying for the thing you've already paid for. Like you're it. So there's no transaction that has to occur.
Yes. Where we get mixed up is we believe that manifesting, we believe that praying, we believe that assuming, or anything you want to call it. We believe ultimately what we really believe that is we believe it's these two things. We believe it's transactional and conditional. But how are you going to, that's why when Kari was talking about it and you say time or money, yeah, but if you pay yourself, but you took the money from yourself, you didn't really pay yourself. You didn't get ahead, right? If you are God, and you want light, but you got to pay somebody, you're not. If you can't make the light yourself, then what the heck am I talking to? Can I talk to the manager? I want to talk to the person who can make light, because there's no reason for me to be sitting here talking to you and you just as limited as me, right? There's no point in what am I going to be here worshiping you for then? Or what am I going to be sitting up here looking up to you, right? Metaphorically, right? What am I going to be doing that for? If you got just many problems I have, you in the dark just like me, but you better than me. We both up here in the dark, but you got it together. That's what we're saying? No, right? No. It's not transactional or conditional, because you are the thinker and the thought. You are the desire and the desirer. You are the person asking and the person giving and the person receiving. You are all of them. You're the whole thing. There's only you. There's only you. How do you know that? Well, if let's just say you went into surgery and they were fixing your toenail. Okay, so I don't want anything dramatic, but they're fixing your toenail and you were unconscious. Does the world still exist?
Not to the person.
So then what does that mean? LaToya, what does that mean?
It means that, like, the outside world still exists. It just, to that person, they might be experiencing a different world or a different level of consciousness.
So if you're under for surgery and they're fixing your big toe, right, and you're unconscious for a couple hours, does the world exist?
Yes.
Does it exist
to
you?
you?
There you go. So then when I say your world is only a reflection of you, it's true. The world goes on, so to speak, but if your world doesn't go on, if you are unconscious, your consciousness is your world. Everything in it and on it, everything you feel with it, believe with it, that is your world. That is your world. We think the outside world is the world. It's not. The outside world is just available for us to experience based on our initial world, our inside world, meaning our consciousness only sees the part of what we call the world based on what it believes itself to be. It's not based on what exists. It only sees what it believes itself to be. Therefore, that's all that exists to it. So there is no one else to pay. There's no one else to beg. There's no one else to ask or decide. Not at the highest level of thinking. In our humanity, yes, you say, may I have the napkin, or can I have some ketchup? Or you open the door for somebody, or someone calls you, or you say thank you for something. Yes, in a human experience, yes. But remember, we're having a human experience. That does not make us human. Those are different things. I've been on an airplane. That didn't make me the pilot. Newsflash, because if I was a pilot, we might all be in trouble. All right, it's gonna be interesting, say the least. Nobody's gonna be bored on here. Nobody will be asleep. Right? You know, I don't know if there is a sky roller coaster, but you know, there may be some ups and downs and twists and turns up in here.
When they meant roller coaster of emotions, they were talking about you.
Say it again.
I said when they were talking about this is going to be a roller coaster of emotions, they're talking about you.
That's it. That's it. Hey, because you know, if you can't say anything about me, you won't be bored. You can call me a lot of other stuff, it won't be boring. Right? No. But yeah, that's the point, is that the world goes on, but it doesn't if you're unconscious. Because the world, as you think it being you and think it being more important than you and bigger than you, it's not. It's not. Your world is a reflection of your consciousness. Without consciousness, you don't have a world. And there is no world that you even think the world outside is. Doesn't exist to you. So the world that's existing to you is really your consciousness reflecting itself out in front of you. Like when you put a mirror in front of your face. Like when you go like that and it looks back at you, that is your consciousness pointing out, that is your world. It's really a reflection of you. You think it's outside of you, but who's holding their hand out? And who's making that happen? It's all coming from the inside out. That's why if you change your mind, you change your world. If you change your mind, you change your world. If you change your mind, you change your world.
So the statement perception is reality is true.
For the perceiver, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Because everything is consciousness. Everything requires consciousness to be. And whatever that consciousness is being or believing or perceiving is what it is. Because consciousness is the only creator. Right? If you had a cake and you had to put it in the oven, let's just say you had to put it in the oven. Doesn't the reality of the cake being or not being rely on the oven? If you had to have something to make something, if you didn't have that thing, could it be that thing?
Yeah,
no, right. So if you don't have consciousness, you don't have anything. Whatever your consciousness is, whatever levels and type you have, whatever you're conditioning your consciousness to being, whatever you believe in you are, that's the type of life you have in its entirety and in its individual ideas, so to speak, of money, of health, of relationships, of whatever else it is. That's what you're looking at.
Cake batter is not a cake.
Correct. Because without the oven, you don't have a cake. Right? If maybe there's other things you can use, but we'll just keep it simple. For an oven, if you don't have that, you don't have that. If you are not conscious, you don't have anything in that moment. Nothing. Until you become conscious again, whether it's from a nap, a coma, a surgery, or whatever else it is. Doesn't matter how you got unconscious and for how long. While you're under, It's nothing's happening for you. If you change your mind, you change your world. Your consciousness is the only thing that really matters. Really. Other things matter, but they matter less. Why? Because they all rely on consciousness. If you can master your consciousness, meaning if you can learn to assume that whatever you want to assume, if you are willing to say, I want to be this, or I want to do this, or I want to have that, and you're willing to stay loyal and faithful and committed, you're willing to repeat, you're willing to persist, you're willing to be until it's automatic. If you are willing to stay with that, that is the only that is your payment. Your assumption is your payment. That's your currency. That's actually what you are paying yourself with, so to speak. Your desire is your desire. The satisfaction is satisfaction. The conduit to that is the assumption. That's the action that people call physically. The action physically is assumption consciously. If you keep stepping or you keep staying in or you remain in that consciousness, you will actually become the owner of that thing. Just like if you kept stepping toward the register and paid, you'd be that. I see something. Do you want to read it? Who's she?
Sparkle Bailey wrote, everything relies on consciousness. Consciousness is the most important thing to nurture above all else.
Absolutely. Because consciousness is the creator of all things. It's not like, you know what, this is the priority. No, it is the priority, right? This not like it's something else to go along with it, or we're going to put this one first and then, no, listen, without this, there is no second. Without this, there is no second. There is no later. There is no tomorrow. Everything that you call later or tomorrow is coming from consciousness. What you call now, you're using your consciousness to think about later, tomorrow, or last week. Everything is happening just on this word. Everything is happening just like this. Everything. This is the power. This is the wisdom. This is the tense, as in present, as in always. This is everything. This is your consciousness. Your consciousness is powerful. It is wise. It is always present. When it says thy will be done, Hebrew doesn't have tenses. So if I said, where's Veronica? I would say, a for Veronica, right? That means where Veronica, where Veronica. But the tense is implied. Where is Veronica? So when they say thy will be done, they didn't have those terms when we translate to English. We don't translate it like that. It really means thy will is being done. It meaning it's always being done. It's never ending. Your will is always being done. Your consciousness is always producing your will. Your will is what I am is believing itself to be. That is your will. That is your will. This is going against my will. No, it's not. Nothing can do that. What goes against God's will? What does that?
Humans.
No, they don't. How?
I don't know. I was guessing. I was guessing.
Right? They don't because I am has given us the free will to attach anything to it that we like. Don't we? Don't we attach stupid to it? Don't we attach dumb to it? Don't we attach fat to it? Don't we attach all the things you would never let your child attach to their name, and we attach it to ourselves, first person present tense. But then we got to nerve to tell our children, don't talk to yourself like that. Then we got to nerve to try to put self-esteem into our children. And we riding around talking to ourselves crazy. No, that's free will. That is the ability to choose whatever it is we want to attach to that, because that is the power, that's the wisdom, that's the tense, that's the consciousness. Without I am, there is no thing. I am. What am I? I am. What am I? You're always asking yourself that. You always have an answer. You always have an answer. How can you tell? Look around. Look around. That is what I am is believing itself to be. Where it is, what it is, how things are going in its world. That's it. You are the controller of your world, not the world, your world. Because you are controller of your consciousness. And if you control your consciousness, meaning not fight it, not battle it, realize this is who you are, and because of who you are powerful and wise, and you are right now. That means whatever you are right now, whatever you want to be right now, you have the power and the wisdom to enact that. How do we know? What does it say? Let there be light. Light still working, no payments, no mortgage, no bankruptcy. There ain't been no blackout dates. There hasn't been no Black Friday sale. God's not selling it off because prices are high and everything else. It's you. You are made in the image and likeness. How do you know? You keep calling yourself I am every day. You're saying I am all the time. You just don't realize you think I am is Monique talking. You think I am is Karen talking. No, I am is talking as Monique. I am is talking as Karen. That's why what you say matters. That's why it says my word. I am, the word of I am, does not come back to me void, but it accomplishes all my good pleasure and prospers unto the place whereunto I sent it. Yeah, what I am says goes. What you may break your word, you may lie, you may cheat, you may steal. I am don't do that. You're not going to do that. So when you believe yourself to be I am, and meaning when you're saying I am and you believe I am, okay, I now believe myself to be stupid, no problem. I'm going to give you so much evidence of that, boy, you're going to love it. If you believe it, if you say I am now this, and realize that when you're saying I am, you realize I am not Leslie is, I am as Leslie. I am as Leslie this. I am as Leslie that. I am as both Veronicas this and that. I am not this. I am not that. I'm an incredible baseball player. I'm an incredible businessman. I'm an incredible father. I'm an incredible mother. I'm an incredible son. I'm an incredible daughter. I'm an incredible student. I'm an incredible spouse. I'm an incredible friend. I am incredible. I am in incredible health. I am wealthy. Money comes easy. Whatever else is, whatever you attach to that, whatever you're believing itself to be, that is what's going to happen. It is powerful and wise enough in present tense to make that happen using consciousness. You've been knowing itself to be. I am is consciousness, present, progressive, always here, always going, never ending. Doesn't sleep, doesn't slumber. That's why you have dreams and nightmares. Your consciousness is never sleep. It's always talking. It's always working. It's always listening. Always. Always. And if you can understand that, then what do you mean something's bigger than you? What do you mean something is too big? What do you mean it's too hard? What do you mean it's gonna, no, for what? For who? For who? Who are you talking about? And who are you talking to? We're all old enough, well, most of us probably old enough to have that one moment in life where you say to somebody, man, who are you talking to? Right? Well, you learn, you kind of snap up and you're like, who are you talking to? Yeah, right? Well, why don't you say that to your desire? I want to be a millionaire. You can't do that. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking? Did you hear what I said? I said, I'm now this. And this is what it is. Nobody asked you for your little, what? I'm not asking you. This is what it is. Last week, I went over my trauma of going to church and my mom threatening everybody. What? It's the truth. She knew who she was in a house full of 5 or 6 boys and was like, this is what it is. Right? This is what it is. But that's the way, that is when you have a desire, that's how you talk. That is declaring and decreeing. You're not begging and whining and crying and hoping and wishing and burning candles and doing what? You are I am. Yeah, it's not some kind of attachment. It's not a purse and some earrings. It's not your wallet you can leave at the house. It's who you are. And the goal here every Saturday is to remember that. to remind ourselves of that through all kind of stories, through all different types of information we can give. But it's the same thing every week. It's the same. When we talk about consistency is the cheat code, well, yeah, we talk about the same thing every week, 1,000 different ways, as many ways as we can take it and get it to understand it and enjoy it. But we start talking about the same stuff. I am. When you say that, what do you put to that? What are you imagining yourself to be? Do you realize who's talking? Right? When you say, I am a millionaire, and some come within you and say, I don't have no degree. Haven't you ever heard this? Man, be quiet. Grown folks talking. Grown folks talking.
Yes.
Grown folks talking. Ain't nobody talking to you. If you want to walk around with your little self-esteem, you better go over there and be quiet with that. Matter of fact, go in your room and close the door. Matter of fact, this ain't for you. Grown folk, that's it. You're not going to let your little past, you're not going to let your little slip ups, your little, before you knew better, before most of us didn't know better. Look at the world. Does it look like most people know better? How many wars do we need? How many of this and that? And does it look like people really know better? They don't. If they did, they wouldn't act like animals and savages. Not that they are, but they act like it because that's what they're perceiving themselves to be, because that's what they believe they are. They believe they have little light or no light. They believe that everything's bigger, everyone's bigger, and everything. It's not. But when you think like that, you act like that. Most people are scared and desperate, living quiet lives of desperation. Just hoping to make it to the weekend for the barbecue. Hoping to get to the next throwdown and get down and party. They're doing anything to distract themselves from day-to-day failure, the feeling of it, because they don't know who they are. You can give them anything and they'll be right back tomorrow because they don't know who they are. Right? So it's important. I am. This is who you are. Believing itself to be, attach your name. But this is your name. Your name that you want to attach, that's now your nickname. Think about it like that. That is now your nickname. That is not you. That is your nickname. That's for your little friends. You can tell everybody your little nickname. That's nice. But you are I am. That is who you are. You are the most powerful consciousness on the planet in an individualized version. And anything you want in your world, anything you want to be, to do, or have, you have and you are. You have it because you are the power. You are the wisdom. You are wise because you are wisdom. You are powerful because you are power. You are strong because you are strength. You understand because you are understanding. You are the actual source of it all yourself. All those other things, understanding, right, is the source. To understand only can happen because you are understanding. You can only get strength because you are strong. You are the actual source itself. You can only all things are possible because you are all things. Just choosing. You chose Veronica. You chose to be Veronica. You over there on the screen chose to be Veronica. You chose to be. We all chose to be. We're always choosing. What we come here on Saturday to do is to choose wisely. And you can't do that unconsciously. Nobody's making decisions of any kind unconsciously, as far as being knocked out. Just because you're unaware makes it seem like you're unconscious, but no, you're just unaware. But your consciousness is on at all times. Right? All right. Anybody have anything they want to say or ask about that?
Sparkle Buddy said yes.
Okay. All right. We're gonna do some home. We're gonna get back. Remember we had homework 2 weeks ago?
Oh.
Yeah. That's your fault. Your problem. I didn't. I don't. I just let it, you say give people enough rope. Oh yeah, boy, you might as well call me a cowboy. Bill Pickett out here, boy, because now the rope is swinging. And I'm about to catch me somebody. All right.
So what's this? What do you want and how do you have it?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see here. Veronica, the other one. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm back. You know, the colored wall behind you just got you. Might as well be a police spotlight. Here I am. And it's perfect. All right. Do you remember this? Do you remember doing this?
I'm doing what?
Do you remember what do you have and how do you have it?
I don't. Would you like to enlighten me?
Yes. So essentially, like if you, let's say you had so it's like you have a thing, say you have a job, right? And then you say, and then you describe what your relationship to that job is. Like, what is it? Like, how does it go for you? How is it going for you? Right.
Okay.
And the goal is to, when we know who we really are, we just choose what we want. And then we choose how it goes with that thing. I have a job that's like this. My money is like this, or whatever else it is. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So describe your health.
My health?
Health.
Okay. So my health is based on the way I think and feel about me, what I choose to eat and put in my bodies. Am I answering that correctly?
If somebody said, hey girl, like you saw one of your girlfriends from high school or something way back and you saw her in the mall and she's like, hey Veronica, how you doing, girl? You look good. How, what you been eating, or how's your diet? How's your health? You look good. Like that. What would you say? Oh girl, oh yeah, I do this. Or how do you feel about your health? What is your relationship to health for you? How do you expect that to be?
I have a great. Health is very important to me.
Okay.
So I take pride in my health.
Okay.
I know that I'm a product of what I put in my body. My body is my temple, and I limit what I put in there. Even though I have that in moderation.
Mm-hmm.
So I work on my physical, mental, and spiritual. All of that in one helps me become a healthy, well-rounded person.
Okay. Okay. So that is your consciousness of health. That is your expectation of your relationship with health. That's how it goes for you.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, I got the rope swinging. Got the rope swinging. Oh yeah. Cynthia. Yeah. So you guys, man, you guys start. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm out here. Let's see if she's available today. Oh yeah. Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Coach Lucky. Good morning.
Look, I don't care. Now, listen up. I want to hear from you how is your business?
Hold on, let me move away from everything. Right now my business is doing great. Actually, working with a runner right now. Just worked with a buyer, first time home buyer, got them some grants. They came to the table with only 1,200, got them 12,000 in grants. Yeah. Growing, learning with a runner, and in a year she'll be a buyer.
So tell me, okay, so we're gonna turn it a little bit. So just tell me, I don't know, I don't even want to say funny. Tell me two things about Justin. Describe Justin. Tell me two things about Justin.
Justin is creative and Justin is super outspoken.
Okay. Now tell me about the success of your business like that.
I don't understand what you're asking. In that way, the way I
Yeah.
described.
The way you describe it, it's your business. Just like Justin is your husband. That's your business.
My business is doing great. Meeting new people, continuing to learn, just helping people. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Right. Leslie, you remember that one? Remember this one?
Yes.
Right. So what we're doing here, Veronica, Cynthia, all of us, what we're doing here is learning how to describe every relationship that we have with anything in our life the way we want it to be, or the way we know it to be. Not based on what's going just today, but what are we saying this thing is? I want you to know, I want you to choose and know your success, just like you go to 7-Eleven and say, what do you want? I don't know what I want. Well, how are you going to get it? I want you to be able to describe your success in every area of your life the way you describe someone you love. Cynthia, how's Justin? Look how it sounded. Cynthia, how's your business? Boy, it turned into Chinese, arithmetic, calculus, gunfighting, and marbles. Right? I want you to choose how it is. Declare and decree the end from the beginning. You say how it is, not based on what's happening today. Your name is Cynthia every day. It's not based on whether it rains, whether it's sunny, whether it's snowing, right? You are who you are every day because that's who you know yourself to be. So I want you to choose your success like you chose your identity before you came in this world. I want you to describe your success. I'm just using it as an example, but I don't mean to me, but I mean, I want you to be able to describe your success to yourself where you're like, this is how it goes for me. It's not predicated on who comes, who doesn't come, how many times they come, how much money they have, this or that. Yeah, you're talking about your experiences, but not your expectation. You're talking about this is what it is. This is how this goes for me. My health is like this. My money is like this. My relationship's like this. I'm the real estate educator, and that means this. I have an expectation for everything I do. Otherwise, what's the point of doing it? If you let somebody else decide, then you be mad. And then you probably won't even get what you wanted anyway. And you really be mad. Or you end up living somebody else's dream on your back and on your dime, right? Then you be mad again, right? No, you choose. God said, let there be light. He wasn't taking options, right? There was no, hey, anybody want to vote? No, right? You decide what you are. So in every area of your life, Cynthia means this. And then this, the Cynthia that means this means money to Cynthia that means this means this. This is who I am. This is a thing. This is my relationship with that thing. I'm going to say how it goes. It don't tell me, I'm telling it. Money is an inanimate object. Success is an inanimate object, but it's conditioned by an animate object, a living thing. When you get in your car, you're the driver. When you get to success, you're the driver. Money, you're the driver. Health, you're the driver. Otherwise, you're either, otherwise somebody done carjacked you, or you done fell asleep, or somehow, no, you decide how it goes. So that's what I want you to think about. I want you to decide and define. I don't mean you can't change things. You're going to expand as you keep growing. As we all keep growing, we get bigger and bigger and bigger because what's reasonable to us expands. What's rational to us expands. We're like, oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Where 6 months ago, you'd be like, I cannot even do that. Now you're like, oh, I cannot. Right? So we're always growing and expanding, but I want you to be able to decide and define, this is how this area goes for me. This is how my relationship goes. This is how this goes. This is how that goes. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, good. So get clear so you can have what you want. All right. Let's see, who else can I wrap the rope around today? Monique. Oh yeah.
I knew it, and I'm ready. Let's go. Look at here.
Let's go. Let's do it. Okay. All right. So, all right. You describe to me your business.
Man, look at here. I get to work with Coach Debbie. She is amazing. I close 3. Do you know I close 3 corporate contracts every month? And I work with 4 one-on-one clients, but in a group, and I do that every month, and it is abundant and it's amazing. And I get to travel all over the place with my husband. Also, my husband is retired, right? He doesn't have to punch anybody's clock. So he gets to work from home or from the beach if he wants to. And I get to pay full price for my son's football and anything else that he wants to do. And our business is booming, and I'm excited every day to wake up and do what I'm called to do. I love it.
Now, everybody see that? Did everybody hear that? So, did everybody see that? Did everybody hear that? Did everybody hear the differences? Right?
100%.
Because of who you are, I am declares and decrees just like Monique did. She said, this is what it is. And so then she's now talking that talk. She's thinking that thought. It means now she has taken her stuff off the shelf. She chose what she wanted. She decided that she wanted what she chose. And now she's walking to the register and saying, this is what it is. This is exactly what's going to happen to me. This is exactly what it is. When you take that mustard off the shelf or that mayonnaise and you walk into the cash register, would anybody here let somebody just take it out your hand? No, you'd be willing to fight over it. You'd be over something you haven't even paid for yet, but you consider it your own. You could use like, this is mine.
It's mine.
And right, your attitude says it's yours. You out here swinging says it's yours, and you don't even have no receipt. But it just goes to show you, right, the power of assumption. It goes to show you the power of a decision, and that it's not necessary to be predicated upon having a receipt, upon being able to show your outcome. It doesn't matter. You know, it's just a matter of time. I'm walking to this thing, and if you get in my way and touch this mustard, you're going to get more than this mustard touching you. You're going to see all kind of reverends up and down this aisle laying hands on you and everyone with you. Right? Because that is how you talk your talk. That is how you think your thought. I have decided, I've chosen, and I decided, and now I talk about my thing like this. And I will continue to talk about it until that which I'm talking about is perfectly manifested in my world. I chose this mustard, I'm walking to the register, and I'll continue to walk until I buy this thing, get the receipt, and now I'm using it. I will continue until I get what I want. I will not relent, I will not return, I will not turn around. It's okay to change your mind if you want to change your mind, but don't change your mind because really you got a weak mind. Don't do that. That's not the truth. That's not who you are. That's who you are. That's how you sound. That's how you talk. And every day you talk that, and you keep talking, and you keep talking. You let the world be what it is. It will reshape. Let the grocery store be what it is. There's people, long lines. There's people waiting in all kinds of lines, walking around each other, bumping each other. Doesn't matter. You know what it is you bought. You know what it is you chose. You know where you're going, and you know what you're going to get. And you keep going in your mind like you would keep going with your feet to that register. You keep going in your mind. This is what it is for me. I keep saying it in my mind. I keep saying it with my mouth, saying it with my mind. You're not walking around everybody, I got mustard, everybody. You don't have to tell everybody what you're thinking and what you're saying. Stop telling everybody. Hey, everybody, I got mustard. Everybody gonna think you're a weirdo. Everybody gonna want to talk to you. Be like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, well, go on, keep your mustard or get out the store quick. Nobody want to hear about your, hey, let me tell everybody my manifestation list. Nobody necessarily want to hear all that. You do what you do, and it will happen for you, right? But that way you don't have people getting in your way and in your face and everything else. Hey, girl, well, listen, you said you were going to have it. See, I knew you weren't going to have it. See, I know that old manifesting stuff don't work. Of course it works. You just don't know how to work it. The laws of mind always work, just like the seasons come by, just like gravity's here. Those are all laws of mind too. A mind had to make the law. That is how you talk. Now that I've said that, who else can I harass? Mm-hmm. Oh boy, look, man, I just saw some screens go off and everything. Quick, man, it's, oh man. Let's see who I got here. I need some names. I can see everybody's name. Let's see. Mm-hmm. It's the same ones. No, who else we got? Mm-hmm. Who else we got here now? I got to get somebody who's just thinking they coming up here and sitting in the back on the corner. Okay. All right, Ronette, let's do it. We out on the dance floor. Let's do it.
I was trying to look all out my window.
Oh yeah, boy. Tell him.
Okay.
Well,
in relationship to what?
You know what? I'm gonna let you pick.
Oh. Can you give me 1 minute while I order me a muffin?
What? Yeah.
So, all right.
Hi, good morning. How can I help you?
Get Amanda.
All right, Amanda. We'll come back to Ronette.
Good morning, everyone. All right, so
you don't get to pick. No, you don't get to pick. I'm picking.
Okay.
Your money.
Oh, my money is long. It's so long I can't even touch it. It don't know me no more.
Hey, that's deep.
Oh,
I like that one. That's deep.
that was good.
That was deep right there. I wasn't ready for it. I don't know. I need to stretch first because I thought I wasn't really right. I gotta shoot. I got to, and I got to shoot. I wasn't ready. Okay. Right. And that's how it is all the time, every time. That's not conditioned. It's not limited. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's how you talk your talk over your life, over your money, over your health, over your business. This is how we talk our talk. This is, you set the standard, you choose the standard, you decide the standard, and you walk that standard. You persist in that standard. This is what it is for you. You are declarers and decreers. You can affirm in your humanity, so to speak, right? Saying, okay, I agree with that. I stay in agreement with what I said. I stay loyal to what I said, but I meant what I said. Like whether I say it 10 times a day, 15, but I meant what I said, right? And it's still that. That's it. All right. Let's go, Miss Muffin.
Okay. I said I'm ready, but I didn't even like think it out. So I'll say in relationship to my 9 to 5 job, it's not 9 to 5, but I am my relationship with my job is effective, and my students are learning, and it is rewarding. So I'm having a fulfilling relationship with my teaching career. That I'll leave it like that.
Okay. So every morning you go out and that's what you say. Every morning when you wake up and you that's what I say. I'm an effective and efficient teacher. I have a rewarding job. I have a rewarding day. All the students love me. All the faculty administration loves me. Everybody can't wait to see me, right? I'm so effective and efficient. I'm important. I'm impactful. Yeah, I'm out here. My sauce is sold out. Everybody's waiting to see me. Everybody loves to see me, right? I'm respected and rewarded. I'm cherished. I'm adored, whatever else it is. That you go out, right? And you declare your end from the beginning. You decide how you want your day to go, right? And how it comes back. That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Gavin and Cassidy are trying to throw Sparkle Bailey in the mix, but her voice is gone. So she said next week she's coming and she's bringing them with her.
Okay, yeah, see, you guys mess yourself up. See, you acted up in church. Happened to me. I missed a whole lot of Sunday afternoons. Yeah, man. Seriously. Let's see here. Who else we got? Who else we got? Yeah. Yeah, I need some other names because who else? Let's see.
We got Justin, we got Kari,
Mm-hmm.
we got Karen.
All right, Justin. Yeah, I'll give you both something to commiserate on. Like, yeah, he called it. Yeah, he called it both.
What's up, Coach?
What's up, man? All right, Justin, health.
Man, listen, 2024, man, I'm really excited going to 2024 because, I'm healthy. The way we eat, the way we work out, being consistent, and health is wealth, so we want to have wealth, we got to have good health. I wasn't ready for this one. I was thinking of all the other things he was going to ask me. But no, seriously, that's the one thing me and Cynthia, we've been talking about and just, super grateful for in our relationship is like, not only we get to do business together, but we get to do life together. We get to work out together. We got like these trails by our house. Like, we got this one route. It's like 1.5 miles. We've been doing that every day. Getting gym memberships and just really, doubling down on, me and her both lost about like 30 pounds in the summer and, like sliding into the winter kind of fell off, but, quickly readjusted for this new year because, when you have the information and you know how to do it, it's just the application. So we are healthy. We care about what we put into our bodies. We care about working out, our bodies and, being healthy for our son, so I don't know if that one was answering your question.
That's pretty good. You got to work on that one. We got to smooth that one out. Yes, sir. 'Cause I caught you. Oh yeah, I catch you. Catching everybody. Watching everybody out here. But yes, that's right. So you guys work on that, but that's the goal for all of us, right? Is to define every area of your life and talk about it the way you want it to be, and talk about it like it's that way now, and talk about it every day like it's like that, until it physically becomes a part of your world. You take something off the shelf, you decide you want it, you walk to that register, and then you pay for it, right? And then you own it, and it's a part of your world, right? There's not too many steps. It's never too much to be what you want, right? But you have to start deciding and start choosing and deciding and saying, this is what it is. It's not optional. It's not up for debate. It's not for everybody else's opinion. This is my life, my world, my choice, my chance. And I'm going to say what it is. And I'm going to continue to say that as long as that's what I want. Until or unless I change my mind, this is all it is and all it will ever be, because I am and I'm the only one. There is no other, right? All right. Well, great job today. Anything anyone want to say before I let you go? Want to get you guys out on time and all that other
I do got
stuff.
a short little testimony, Coach.
Yes,
Lucky.
sir. Yes, sir. That's good for all of us. Yes, sir.
I know we, me and you were like texting throughout the week, but I literally like from last week, like, that's what I've been saying every day. Like, I'm successful. Everybody wants to work with me and my wife.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Everybody loves working with me, and like, really trying to just like be consistent in that, like every day, like my mantra almost, and still with a little bit of I guess like a little bit of doubt in a sense of like just the season we're in, but it's like crazy because, I sent out like these Christmas cards. Me and her, we got photos done for Christmas, and just I'm like, man, I'm sending everybody in my phone, and I didn't even like use my CRM and automation. I just wanted to use a personal touch. I literally probably sent like 75 messages out, and just saying that everybody wants to see our card. Everybody wants to see what we're up to. There's going to be a response. And like we're going to a Christmas party tonight. I'm doing content at. We got invited on a marriage podcast. I got a couple other meetings lined up. And I really believe it was like, the seed was really planted last Saturday. And, from what we were texting too, like, I appreciate you. And going into this new year, there are no reserves. There is no doubt, because I am what I am, and everybody loves me.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate you for that, and just giving us the foundation, because it's really wild. It's really wild. Like, what happens when you really do the work and you put it out there.
Mm-hmm. So. Yes, sir. And that is awesome, man. And thank you so much for that, because that's good for all of us, right? That's why we're doing what we're doing. Every time you all of us talk about whatever it is for you. The way he said that is the way I want your health to sound. You choose that. Just the way you talked about your business, I want your health to sound the same way. The way, right? Meaning, right? All that stuff. I want all of us to be able to do that, right? With every area of your life. Right? This is how it goes for me. This is how it is. I am the chooser. I'm the authority. I'm the power. And therefore I have the power and wisdom in me to enact anything I choose, right? To bring to life anything I choose, because I am life itself, right? Our consciousness is life. So you're absolutely right. And that's wonderful. There are no limits. There are no conditions. It's not transactional. It's not quid pro quo. You don't have to give something to get something, maybe to humanity and maybe to the world, but that's not where you're getting anything from anyway. And that's not where you get your desire, your ideas from anyway. Those are all internally driven and internally given. And whatever, if they didn't give it to you, they can't take it from you, right? Nobody can take anything from you, right? No man takes my life from me. I have the power to lay it down and take it up again. That is the power and wisdom that is within you to make anything that you want. So I want all of us to start understanding that, remembering that, and start talking to your life and about your life, and start establishing standards and expectations of your life and the way it is and the way it goes, from who you really are, from I am, not your little nickname. I am. That's who you really are. It's harder, right? Right? I am. Right? So, absolutely. Absolutely. Wonderful. Wonderful. Anyone else? Anything else before I let you guys go?
I'm having a yacht party and you're all invited.
Let's do it.
Well, I just think of a small thing that occurred yesterday. I went to get my car service maintenance inspection, and what I had planned the cost to be, the cost doubled. And like the brother said before me, you know, you get that moment of doubt. I got that moment of doubt, and automatically I said, "Oh, no problem. You got that. That is all yours. Don't even worry about it." And the thought that came after that is, yes, Karen, you're working and it's becoming automatic. You know, you got it. It's yours. Just grab it. And I thank you for that.
Yes. And last thing I'll say, because I don't want to hold everybody and if anybody else, but don't let me sit up here and act like I'm not sitting up here acting like I got it all together at all or anything like that. I say the same things to myself. Do you know what I said when I was buying everybody's Christmas presents? Every time I use my money, it comes back to me multiplied in under 24 hours. Every time I use my money, it comes back to me multiplied in under 24 hours. Man, I said that thing to myself. I was walking around the outlets, walking around the mall. I must have walked from, man, I was like Forrest Gump. I was walking around, boy, because sometimes, hey, man, we all got that moment, right, where you like, ooh, it's a lot of money going out in a very short amount of time, right? You have those moments. It's true, right? We're not acting like we some kind of, no, we're not acting like we don't have it. We're becoming aware of why we have that thought and what thought to replace it with. So I started replacing it with that thought. We're not here acting like if you have a thought, you're sinning and you're off the path and you're going to hell. We're not acting like we got to act like we didn't have the thought. Don't tell nobody. No, I had that thought and I just started saying it to myself. Like, you know what? Every time I use my money, it comes back to me multiplied in under 24 hours. I got mad. I wanted my money back quick, right? And then I said, it comes back in 24 hours. I got more afterward than I did before I spent it. Right? I just started talking that talk. Should, if it's all possible, then why not say what you want? Well, I'm not settling. I'm going to satisfaction. I'm pouring just like my syrup on my French toast. I got so much syrup on my plate. It's either a battleship or a sinking ship. That's how much syrup I got on my plate with French toast. I'm not playing with it. I'm all the way in, head first into third like Pete Rose. I'm all the way in it, right? To win it from the gate. So that's for all of us, right? In the sense of talk that talk. You are the operant power. It goes as you say it goes. And the more you realize that, the more you're going to see what you're saying, right? Every day is working for you. Everything is good for you. Everybody loves your business. You're successful and thriving, right? You don't work for money. Money works for you. You are money. You are wealth itself, right? And you become conscious of being wealth. That's why you are wealthy. Wealthy is an expression of wealth. It's like the child's an expression of a parent. You are wealth. Right? You are money. You are success. You are prosperity. You are abundance. You are the source of that itself. And therefore it becomes your resource in physical expression. Right? So you do your thing, right? So all of us just wanted to say that because I be going through my stuff too. I was out the outlets getting shortness of breath. Right? And I said, you know what? Hold up. I said, I got to do some CPR on my wallet. Right? I said, no, man, I'm changing this. I'm not going to sit around here looking crazy. Nah, man. And I did that and things happen just like that. Right? So we all do it, man. It's good and very good. Yes, sir.
First Lucky, just personally, I want to say thank you for your consistency in our lives. Thank you for the healthy reminders. And I hope you and Bill have a happy video.
Oh, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. It's my honor and pleasure. Hey man, I threw that Pete Rose out there for you. Charlie Hustle. All right. Anything else anybody else got before I let you go? All right.
Happy New Year, everyone, and see you guys next year.
See you next year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year,
Happy
everyone.
New Year.
Happy
See
New
you
Year,
next
everyone.
year.
Happy New Year. Have a good one.
Blessings
All
on
right.
blessings on blessings.
That's it.
Happy New Year.